we've got so many brave people on the front line that have put their voices on the line, and now the great British public's out across the whole of the United Kingdom. I want to say hello because I always know if my mum's watching that Britain has heard, and it's great that the BBC is here. I'm really pleased. I know we're outside the BBC, but it's great to have you here. We're really pleased now that this debate is going everywhere. We want to have everyone to have their voices heard together and get our old normal back.
And Tonya, today, did you get the sense that there was a change of mood? I mean, there's lots of speculation that the Plan B measures might be rolled back in just 10 days' time.
I'm getting the sense, not just today, but generally, I get stopped in the street all the time by people saying, you know, thank you for what you're doing, we've had enough. It's time to get back to the old normal, and we're really hoping that the government are going to see sense and again be world leaders. Britain's always done that, and this is the time to do it now.
You have 9 years of experience. That's 9 years of your expertise that essentially could go to waste. How do you feel about losing your job because of this?
Obviously terrible. Like, I don't want to lose my career. It's not just 9 years, it's an entire lifetime. I've been working towards this since I was 5.
Why are people so passionate about this issue? I think the thing is, like with the Together Declaration, we're both vaccinated and unvaccinated, but we really very much committed to the idea of free choice and autonomy and not having impositions of state mandate that's imposed on us, like with restrictions and vaccine passports.
Unions are calling on the government to postpone a deadline for NHS staff to be vaccinated against COVID, warning of a catastrophic impact on services already struggling to find enough workers.
I don't want to not be a midwife anymore. I feel like it's part of who I am, but I also really feel strongly that a mandate is not the way forward and that it's infringing on our human rights to make these decisions.
Elevating Sage to an almost deistical position and then not making the decisions. You see, these comments that were really damaging to science and freedom, like we're following science, are really reprehensible because, you know, science is a method of inquiry, but policy decisions, what you do about any advice is key.
I think the whole of the government responsible for the lockdowns during that time when we were vilified and we were called all sorts of things will soon realise that they were wrong. Shutting down schools was wrong. The Education Minister has mentioned it today in an article, and Rishi Sunak has come out now. And we're going to see more of this, Mike. But, you know, one thing I will always say is we will not forget what they did and what they said to us.
Yeah. Now, the influential grassroots campaign is refocusing its energy on the COVID-fuelled financial crisis, and they want the country's next Prime Minister to axe taxes to help the country recover. So, Alan, how do we get out of this monumental mess caused by the COVID lockdowns?
Well, first of all, Dan, what we have to do is the next PM has to axe the tax, is what we're saying. So that means that both the VAT charges and also the green levies on fuel and energy prices in the home.
Well, let's talk about the NHS winter plan with Alan Miller now. He's co-founder of the Together Declaration, getting people to work together to stop mandates and lockdowns and keeping businesses open. But Alan, your concern right now is what happens this winter and whether or not there is actually any sort of plan to make sure there aren't these demands once again.
There's 7 million people waiting treatment now as a consequence of both the cost of lockdown crisis and COVID-only obsession. The green levies on, as you say, on both car fuel and petrol and also on house energy costs, many of which have doubled already by the summer now. And we're heading into a situation where by October, they're going to go up by a significant amount more.